That's on. Let's check our volume. It's good.
Good morning. I'm going to turn the mics on. Good morning. This is Betsy Wiersma.
And I'm Rhonda Shea.
And you are listening to Boost Power Radio as you plug in for some uplifting ideas from super cool women here to support you in your world, sister style, up close and personal.
That's right. And stay tuned for interviews on purpose to discover choice points from these journeys. Learn something new, be inspired, and connect. Plus, everything is all about the fun.
This show is for you in your own life. Plug into these really cool women and to learn something great. To get us started today, our good work segment is the amazing Susan Brew. We get to talk about her success strategies for business and for life.
And on the We've Got You New segment, it's all about Goodwill Denver with Jessica Smith. Wait till you hear about some of the great things Goodwill's doing in our community and what's in it for you.
Next, we're going to review our Weekend of Fun camp experience and talk about what we learned from all the speakers and the campers and that what you can glean from the fun that we had and that you too can plug into.
That's right. You can join in on the fun and you're going to learn all about it. It's a great experience, pardon the pun.
That's the name. And lastly, we always have good time. So you can plug into charity events and fun all around the Denver area so you can really experience what we're talking about today. Okay, so let's get started with our first segment. Yay!
Welcome. The crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild for our guests.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
it's such an honor.
I tell you, when we first started the show, we said, who are the top women we'd like to have on our show? And Susan Brew was at the top of that list.
Absolutely.
We're happy to be on your social calendar, your busy social calendar.
Thank you.
Let me tell everybody just a little bit about Susan. She is not only a successful business owner, but she's had an amazing life experiences that cause her to have to navigate through some things that aren't always easy. She was a consultant, a very successful consultant, and decided to get into the plumbing, heating, and air conditioning business because, all women own a plumbing, heating, and air conditioning business. Right. And she took that company from $177,000 to over $3 million. This woman right here in her marketing, but also she's going to tell us about the philosophy she uses for that company. Besides all that, in her spare time, not only is she a big community volunteer, she's recently embarked on a public speaking career and now travels around the country consulting with heating cooling companies and speaking to organizations about success. So, Susan, we're just so happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm delighted to be here. I'm so excited about the show and all of the lives that you're reaching with it. So it's a wonderful opportunity.
Well, so tell everybody a little bit about your path, because how do you go from ski racer to consultant in the mountains to plumbing owner to international speaker and superstar?
Well, I left superstar. I don't know. That's a little doubtful. That might be on the horizon, but maybe not right yet. But I worked for AT&T Wireless, and I was on an international assignment in Grenada, which is in the Caribbean. And when I came back, I bought a business coaching firm. So I was able to coach 150 different businesses, including 17 different trades. So when I met and married my husband in 2012, we joke that we merged his being a plumber and me being a business coach into Sunshine Plumbing, Heating, Air. And to me, a business is a business is a business. So it doesn't matter if you're selling shoes, although that would be really fun
for all of
get
us
to wear them.
Yes.
Or plumbing, heating, or air conditioning. To me, it's how you run it, how you treat your customers, and how you treat your employees.
And I've used your services, and I will say that your employees are remarkable. They're great. They come in, they take care of business, they're friendly.
And they clean up.
And they don't lie to you. Which is like, because you never know. No, you don't know.
Right.
I mean, no, you don't need that. Oh, God, great, thanks.
Well, in today's world, you really need to be transparent, too, because everyone writes a review, and we do try really hard to hire outstanding individuals, which means that we pay probably better than anybody else in the market, but that helps us to attract the top talent.
Right. What I noticed when I stalked you, because for Camp Experience, I was trying to find women-owned businesses that were rock stars, that really did it differently. And so I stalked you, as you do know now. And I found out about your philosophy. Like, you have a philosophy of loving your customers. So talk a little bit about, like, the corporate culture you put in place.
Well, we designed right from the very beginning that when we entered a market with 950 competitors, the only thing that could set us apart was outstanding customer service, because I really didn't believe that there was anyone that was doing it so over the top that people were talking about it. So we just decided right from day one that that was going to be our philosophy. Delivering the outstanding service over the top, putting people in hotels if we couldn't get their air conditioning or heat fixed, sending thank you notes all the time, sending brownies, sending gift cards, sending gift baskets, flowers if we make a boo-boo. So we just have always had that.
I noticed when brownies arrived after we had a service, I was like, what? You know, can we have a service again? I just wanted to break something.
Yeah.
So you guys can come back.
They're pretty good brownies, I have to say.
Here, flush that stuffed animal down the toilet.
Yeah, hey.
Flush that old Beanie Baby nobody wants.
Hey, can we just have that? And, you know, you even set up a hotline for the Camp Experience Network, I know, where they answer the phone, hello, Camp Sister.
Yes, they do.
So, you know, that's really impressive of a company that cares so much about what they do. So, but in your field, so you went from consulting into owning this business. You know, what are the key choice points? Like along the way, did you have to just stop and say, you know, yes, or was it about marrying a guy that was a plumber? I mean, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, here's what happened. We had a really tough, rough recession, both of us. When I was coaching and he was being a plumber, there's still people to this day that owe him money from the recession with new construction and commercial construction. So when we opened the new company in the Denver metro area, what we did was make it service. Only service, because we knew that it was recession proof. Because regardless of what happens with our economy some point in the future, if you don't have hot water, you'll still replace it. If you have a flood, you'll still fix it. So that is why we went into the service business. So we totally changed the business model to be sustainable.
Yeah, I got that. The other thing we'd love to ask is, along your path, and we didn't really talk about your personal side, but I kind of hinted to it this morning. You know, have been quite the athlete, and with being an athlete, sometimes you might fall down. Is that an understatement
Clumsy
of America?
Athlete.
I'm not calling you clumsy, but would you tell a little bit about some of your concussions and your head injuries? Because what we like to say out loud in this show is things that people are like, oh, nobody deals with what I've got. And I want them to hear what you've got.
Well, in total now, I have 10 concussions, which is traumatic brain injury, and that probably happened on number one, even though I was very young at the first time, had a very bad car accident when I was 16. They didn't really diagnose back then what was going on, and they didn't treat me for traumatic brain injury, even though I was knocked out for 2 full days. I also broke my pelvis in 3 places and was in the hospital for 8 weeks. And I also have 15 broken bones. So that's a combination of car accidents, mountain biking, ski racing, snowmobiling. Now we added that one to the mix this year. So it's a variety of different things. You know, I've just always been a go big or go home kind of person. So, you know, learn to ski one year and then start racing the next. It's probably not the best idea, but, you know, at one point I took out 7 dates with my head in Beaver Creek, and they do have a lovely hospital there in Beaver Creek. So,
just so you know.
I put a tree stump there and broke a leg once skiing.
Great facilities, beautiful. Yes, so that is my story, but it's very difficult with the head injury sometimes to keep things straight. I have to keep a lot of notes. I'm always taking notes on things. I'm always using a PowerPoint or a phone or a notebook so that I can keep things organized. I have to sort of have a routine. If I get outside of my routine, look out, because sometimes I lose the ability to speak.
Well, and I just want everyone to hear that. Like, besides all that, here you are running a company, you have a public speaking business, you're super active in the community. And I want to call you out for that. One of the things you invented is called the Thriftinista Bus Tour.
These are so cool.
I tell you, I was just speaking recently, and I said, on the Thriftinista Bus Tour, I found a piece of art to turn into art. And so tell us more about the Thriftinista Bus Tour.
Well, initially I've always been a thrifter. Not always. So once again, that recession I told you hit us pretty hard. I became a recessionista, where I couldn't afford to shop at the expensive stores that I used to, so I started shopping at Goodwill and ARC and all the other thrift stores. I like thrift instead of consignment, and I became really good at it. And then I started realizing I am never paying full price retail for anything again, because I can get amazing clothes for $5. So everyone started asking me to take them thrifting, and I didn't really have the bandwidth. So I talked about getting a bus, and as fortune would have it, a woman sitting next to me at my Rotary Club works for a bus company that runs the RTD buses for the North. And she donated a bus, and we had lunch and breakfast sponsored. People pay money to get on the bus, and then I teach them how to thrift. So I do a lesson, and then I give them a map of what they're looking for, and then I bring myself and other master thrifters on the bus to teach them how to thrift. And then at the end, they win prizes for unicorns, which are unique, really high-value items that you bought for $5.
That's so cool, isn't it?
Well,
I'm
of
going
course,
on the next
I
one.
cannot tell why I am a master thrifter myself.
I'm not. I'm a master spender, so I'd like to learn.
We will fix you up.
We will hook you up, and it's so fun to see these women who get some instruction from Susan. And you also talk about fashion trends.
Yes.
Because it's neat to know that, like, look for a trench coat, or, always have a straight black skirt, or blah, 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 all the things you tell us. And then I feel so good in a cobalt blue dress, because I know it is on trend.
Yes.
That's right.
I'm trendy.
Because we are, so you can tell I'm really into fashion.
Well, actually, that plaid is very in because of the Markle Sparkle.
Look at the back.
Yes, very nice.
So those of you who are watching us online on the international camera, you can see Rhonda's back is different than her front. I'm just saying.
That's right.
She is so fashion.
I am in fashion. There it is. See?
She's so fashion. See? There you go.
I bought a pair. I did do one thing. I went in the thrift store because I love cowboy boots. I have thousands of them. I went in. I saw them in the window, and I ran and I got a pair of dingoes for $8. And they were like, oh my God, just saved like $100 and some.
Exactly. Yes.
I love them. So I look for cowboy boots. That's one thing I look for.
Well, and with this show, we always like to tell you how you can be a thriftinista. So I know, Susan, we have a Thriftinista bus tour coming up. Tell them all about it.
We do. It's November the 16th, and it is with Goodwill. And what we'll do, we'll meet at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll have a light breakfast. I will give you some tips, tell you what's in style. We will make a map together. So if you need blue pants, a black shirt, green shoes, whatever that looks like, we'll get a plan. And then you'll get on the bus, and we'll have breakfast and lunch, water, and then we'll meet back at 3 o'clock and do our unicorn prizes, and then the day ends about 3:30.
You do this every month, did you say?
We try to do it every quarter.
Every quarter. So there's basically 4 a year. That's awesome.
And we'll be doing one in February with the Women's Chamber. That's another one we're doing.
Super fun. And Camp Experience Network is happy to be a sponsor and provide the unicorn prizes. And you don't know this, but I have some surprise unicorn prizes for you. I have been out shopping.
And you bring bags, too.
And I bring bags. So everyone can get involved with that. We'll be sure that that's posted so you can connect to that. So we always like to ask you, what, if you could just speak into the hearts of these women, what would be your kind of, global statement for women to give them some inspiration?
Don't let your health challenges stand in your way. And I have done it myself. We've all done it. Well, I can't do that because of my knee. I can't do that because of my arm. I can't do. You know what? I have found a way to figure it out. 15 broken bones and 10 concussions. I could be a person that sat around and just blamed anything that happened to me on all of those injuries. But I don't want to be crippled up when I'm old. So I exercise every day, and I make sure that I go to Pilates and yoga, and I'm gentle with myself and really taking care of yourself. And I know that it's hard. It's hard to find the time, but you have to put the effort forth. And power through those injuries and find a way around them.
Getting back up, like our friend Lauren Miller said the last time, everybody has issues, but getting back up is what makes you a champion. And Susan, you are a champion.
Oh gosh, and I just also have to call you out for your attitude. Yeah. Because, as the market changes, you talked about having those many competitors. I mean, if you got up in the morning with the story called, oh, I have all these competitors, what can I ever do? But I've never, in all the years I've known you, never not seen just such a bright light. Where whoever you're talking to, you are interested in them and uplifting them. And I just want to call you out that you are an amazing woman.
I'm giving her a plug for her business. If you haven't used them, you should. Because they are amazing and they treat you wonderful and they're honest and they're all the things you want in a service provider.
Thank you so much for saying that.
So do a plug, do a little.
Sunshine Plumbing, Heating, Air in Henderson, Colorado.
Yes. So find them. So we do this fun thing at the end. This is just random and it's super random. So you're going to get to draw a card from our deck and then you just get to answer it. Okay. And we don't know what it's going to say because it's random. So why did you have to read it for the studio audience?
What birthday did/do you dread the most and why? I think that was probably 30. And I don't know why. It just felt like back then that 30 was so old. And I don't know how that possibly could be now that I think about it. I was living half in the Jersey Shore, half in New York City. I had a fabulous life. I was like Sex in the City life. I mean, not with the sex, but all the shoes, for sure.
The shoes part of Sex in the City.
Yeah, but I don't know. That birthday was just like big drama for me. I don't know why exactly, but that was it. Yeah,
and that was just 5 years ago, Susan.
So I know. I remember it
such a good memory.
I'd take 50 again. I'd be happy.
Gosh. Well, again, you can see why we could do the hour of Susan Brew because she has so much to say to the world, and we just want to call you out for your good and call you out for your leadership and encourage all of you to support a women-owned business and a wonderful service-based operation.
And someone who gives back to our community. And thank you for doing what you do. So thank you for doing this.
My pleasure. Good. Super. So that is our good work segment. And the crowd goes wild. Oh! Yeah, thank you so much, Susan. All right, we're going to turn it over to Rhonda here in a minute. But while we are transitioning, Rhonda,
it's been a busy week.
Oh my gosh, it's been such a busy fall, you know?
I do want to take a minute, and I know maybe we're going to do it away from the show, but I just can't wait. I just want to say congratulations to my dear friend Betsy. She won the highest award that you can get from United Way. And that award, she has why don't you tell us about it? She put the necklace on.
Frances Weisbart Jacobs was the woman who founded United Way. And for those of you looking on the international camera, I'm one of just the winners have this amazing piece of jewelry that Jill Farquhar actually creates and donates for the winners. But what is so cool is Frances Weisbart Jacobs started United Way here in Denver, but that was the first United Way in the country. And Betsy, and they only give that award. They don't really give it all the time because this is the highest award that they give. It's in honor of their founder, and so it's a Philanthropist of the Year award. And we're so proud of Betsy for having received that and for all the good work that she does and Camp Experience organization that she founded and represents. So congratulations. And speaking of that, one of the charity partners and one of our wonderful friends is here. Right, we were just talking about how we're so excited about the Thrift Nisa tour sponsored by Goodwill. And Jessica, we just welcome you to Boost Power Radio.
That's right. Thanks for having me. This is great.
And one of the things that we wanted to say is that just a little fun fact about Goodwill, and we're going to chat a little bit about some more things. But Melissa Briggs first started Goodwill. And it was in the Epworth Church building on the corner of 31st and Lawrence. And that's been redone now, as everything has been done. But it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
They put a stained glass and doesn't it have a marker on it that it was Goodwill's building initially, or is it?
It doesn't.
Oh, it should.
I know. We really want to do something there. But all of the folks that are in the building now know its history. There is a bridal shop on the one side, and on the other side, where the chapel of the church used to be, is an architecture firm. And me and my friends at Goodwill went to go check out the building, and they actually knew more about the history of the building than we did. And it was really great. We learned a lot about the history of Goodwill, and it was just cool that a woman brought Goodwill to the Denver area.
So what year was that again?
That was 1918.
Wow. Been helping the community for a long time.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about yourself, Jessica, just your background.
Sure. So I came to Goodwill 3 years ago, and before that I actually worked in the TV broadcast industry
here locally at the local TV station as a producer. So my background is in journalism, but I came to Goodwill because they have such a good story, and I want people to know about all of the stories that go into Goodwill, besides their stories that we offer.
That's great. So Jessica Smith, your background was in the media. You jumped into Goodwill, and what's been your biggest surprise about Goodwill? What was your biggest surprise?
Just my favorite thing about Goodwill is learning the people that we help and learn about them. Every year we put on a big event and we hand out 4 awards, and as part of that process, we really get to know these awardees and their personal background. And my job is to produce those videos, and in that process, I get to know them really well. And the stories that come out of Goodwill are just, they're so inspiring and so, you just would never think about that with Goodwill. You think of the first story, you have to think about it. Oh, Goodwill gave this person a job which completely changed their life and brought them back on track.
Tell us about some of the kinds of people and causes that Goodwill supports in the community, because I think people really don't know. They know it that I didn't. I mean, it's a big and broader in scope than I think most people realize.
Yeah, so our main mission is to get people back to work and give them the skills that they need to succeed in the workforce. So all of our programming is around what we call the power of work. We help individuals with disabilities by employing them in our stores and training them to be employable at other places. And we also do that with adults with barriers to employment. And that can be anything from a substance abuse addiction or a criminal background that just makes it that much more difficult to get back into the workforce. But we also help at-risk students across the Denver area, which not a lot of people know about.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So Goodwill serves 16,000 students every year. And we basically have Goodwill youth facilitators in schools across several districts in the Denver area. And we're essentially just helping them with career building, college exploration, getting them applied for financial aid and scholarships. And then once they're on track to go to college, making sure that they have the resources to succeed in college and go into the workforce.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I know when I took a tour, because one of the new things that you do at Goodwill is offer people to come to the headquarters and take a tour. And I was amazed by the electronics recycling and the bikes. So talk about those two things, because I think almost everyone has an old computer, something that my husband always said, no one can recycle it because it has our top secret data. And I got to go home and tell him you had like government top secret clearance for erasing the data. So talk about bikes and electronics.
Sure. So our Good Electronics program, all of the donated electronics that we get, whether it's a computer or even like a gaming system like PS4, that has data on it, personal data that you put in while you're using it. But if it gets donated to us, we wipe it clean according to Department of Defense standards. So that's a really big certification for us. We are R2 2013 certified. We were one of the first Goodwill organizations across the country to get that certification, and essentially that just means that we recycle our electronics responsibly and environmentally friendly ways, and make sure that all of our downstream vendors also do the same, so it's not ending up in landfills anymore. And as part of that program, we employ individuals with disabilities and teach them how to deconstruct electronics, so they're getting that skill. But they're also learning how to work with employees and their coworkers.
That's awesome.
All this software.
That's awesome. I have a question. Then I want you to tell us about October.
Sure.
Because October at Goodwill is really.
And also tell her to talk about bikes though first.
Oh, the bikes.
Because I know people get bikes from you. I guess with someone saying, build me a bike that's this way, this way, this way. So tell them about the bikes, because Christmas is coming.
That's right, and you can get great things.
So our Good Bikes program is really cool. It's run by a bunch of individuals who have various barriers to employment, but we train them to maintain your bike. So if you have a bike and you just want to get it,
you can bring my bike. You can tune it up. So that the brakes work.
Yep,
That's good.
It's a minor thing.
Really rough right now.
And it's a really competitive price, and by bringing it to Goodwill, obviously you're helping the individuals that we serve. But if you wanted to, you can also come in and check out the bikes that we have donated to us, and you can fix that bike up for you, or even build a custom bike for you with all of our donated.
Amazing. Now, any Goodwill, or are there only specific ones?
This one is specific to our warehouse on the Federal location, so it's 6850 Federal Boulevard. But check our website for hours. The best thing to do is make an appointment so we can serve you best.
That's amazing. So then the other thing I was going to ask is tell us about October, because I had gone in Goodwill for years, and when my daughter had plays and theater, costumes, all those kinds of things. So tell us about October, because I know that is pretty big.
So October is our biggest month of the year for Goodwill. Pretty much Halloween is Christmas for us. We get a lot of new customers in who maybe normally wouldn't have got to thrift shop, but they come in because they're looking for a specific thing for their Halloween costume, and you can get stuff at Goodwill that you can't get anywhere else. Just off our regular racks, like something out of the 70s or the 80s, depending on what you're
a lot of costume jewelry and hats and boas and just anything you can think of.
Anything Halloween, you got it. Yeah. And you can also find ready-to-wear costumes that people have worn maybe one time and then they donate it to us.
Even new, I've seen new ones.
Yep, we've got brand new costumes as well, brand new wigs, accessories, anything to really put your whole look together.
And decorations.
Yeah.
One of the cool things I think that I've seen in the stores when I've gone in for holidays, because I'm one of those holiday people, I need something, is you're walking in there to get something silly, like I need a feather boa. Like, who's going to have that, right? So you go in there and you might find one.
Yeah.
And then you see, here's the plug-in pumpkin that would have cost me 5 times this amount. Oh, here's the Santa that's 3 feet tall that I'd like for my front porch. Oh, here's the Christmas china that was a fortune and now is really affordable.
Yeah.
So the decorations for your table, for both internal nice things and external lights, everything are there for the holidays. And as you get into the holidays, it's a great time to go in and find those things so that you can decorate your home and do it very affordable and help a wonderful home.
Yeah, of course, because every time you're shopping at Goodwill, you're helping Colorado. That's the main mission we want to drive forward.
Well, and I know you have fundraisers throughout the year. You just had a big successful golf tournament. I know all about that. But very soon my husband and I are going to get dressed up fancy because we're coming to your little gala to tell everyone how they can join us at Goodwill's big party.
It's called the Moonlight Masquerade Ball, correct?
Yeah. It's a Moonlight Masquerade. It's not as formal as a gala. We call it cocktail attire. But we are encouraging everyone to wear a mask, and we have a bunch of masquerade masks at Goodwill stores. So if you're looking for a mask, go to Goodwill. The event is on October 19th at Moss Denver, which is a really cool venue over on Santa Fe. We've got comedian Josh Blue,
my husband is so excited about Josh Blue.
That's going to be great.
Oh my goodness.
He's giving us a special performance, so that's going to be really exciting. We have a magician, we'll have music, we'll have a face painter if you want to get your mask face painted right on Tuesday. And of course, food and cocktails. It's going to be really fun. There'll be live and silent auctions. So hopefully,
and how will people buy tickets?
They can go to goodwilldenver.org/masquerade. We also have it on our homepage, so it should be pretty easy to find. But yeah, there are VIP tickets available, regular tickets available, so places for it.
And what's the VIP ticket? What is that?
The VIP ticket gets you VIP seating during the Josh Blue performance. And you'll also get to meet Josh Blue after the performance, and I think you get a TV from him as well.
Wow,
so
that's good.
A little special treatment.
That is pretty VIP. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, but what if someone was out there and was thinking the coolest thing ever for Boost Power Radio would be to have our first live giveaway?
That's right.
Live giveaway. So thank you for being our first live giveaway. So tell us what the big prize is for our call-in giveaway.
And I'll give you the number and tell you what caller number it is.
So call in and you'll get 2 tickets to our masquerade, and you'll get to see Josh Blue. You'll get to enjoy the party. It's going to be really fun. October 18th.
And that's worth $100, correct?
Yeah.
$50 a ticket for that. So to win $100, 2 tickets, basically 2 tickets to the Goodwill Moonlight Masquerade Ball on October 19th, you need to be the first caller. And here's the number, folks: 303-902-1790. Be the first caller to 303-902-1790, and you'll win 2 tickets to go to the Moonlight Masquerade Ball benefiting the Goodwill.
Yay! And the clock is well again.
So our assistant, it was so important we have an assistant, Megan.
We do. We have a producer.
The producer.
And Megan is going to get the call. So only special. You're so special because we are fancy. At Boost Power Radio.
So that's 303-902-1790. Be the first caller. And you'll win 2 tickets to the Masquerade Ball benefiting Goodwill on October 19th.
And you'll get to hang out with me and my husband Doug, and Ron is going to go, and a whole bunch of really fun people are going to go. So that's bonus.
But you won't recognize us, so it doesn't matter.
But we're going to have
or pretend I'm somebody else. Oh, who are you?
I'm going to be Rhonda.
I'm going to be like Cher.
I have got to think about that. I really hadn't gotten that far yet. Okay, so now you get to do the mystery draw. Okay, so don't be nervous. I loved it when Kathy Hoff drew, and it said something about prom queen.
Oh, I know, and then she was the prom queen.
She said I was the prom queen. Like, would you like to be the prom queen?
It's like, do you still know who the prom queen was in your high school, and do you still know her? And she's like, well, yeah, because that was me.
That was me. I was the prom queen, and I was like, yeah, well, that was fun. So
my sister was prom queen.
She was.
It wasn't my year, but that was fun.
Okay, so just anything in here, just draw a card.
Okay.
It's just a fun little game. There you go.
Okay. What are 3 qualities you look for in a friend?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yep.
I would have to first say loyalty. Obviously, one of my friends to be loyal to. Humor. My friends always make me laugh, and that's like the best medicine for missing out. My friends will just have a great laughing session. Third one, I would just say kindness. People who are kind.
Isn't that important? I think kindness is just it.
Yeah. What would be your 3?
Kindness would definitely be there. Laughter, and more fun, and smart.
Yeah.
No dumb people allowed.
Yeah, well, I get that. Okay, I think I would go with you guys. Kindness, number 1, and yeah, definitely security, like, to have that bond of trust. And I love hanging around people that make a difference.
Yeah.
Because I'm really inspired by that, and I like hanging around with our food guys. And Goodwill. And I shop at the Goodwill all the time. So,
we're grateful for that.
Just saying, but we just love having a partnership with you, with the Campus News Network, and with KUHS Radio. And just a reminder, you can go to the Masquerade Ball. You can also come to the Fifth bus tour, which benefits Goodwill. And there's so many wonderful things that they do all the time. So, crowd goes wild for a special guest.
And let's do one more time just to make sure. If you'd like 2 tickets to go to the Masquerade Ball, call 303-902-1799.
799.
Okay.
Well, if I'm going to call, if you guys don't call, I'm calling and getting 2 more tickets.
I just want to do it again though, because it's hard to remember. 303-902-1790. 2 tickets to the Goodwill Moonlight Masquerade Ball on October 9th.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for coming, Jessica.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we do.
So, just think for a second as we transition to
our
next segment.
Into our next segment.
And,
I think we got to shift the cameras a little bit.
We do, so we will just let you sit here just for a second.
And just walk off into the sunset.
Because then people would be like, she left.
What happened? She's got left them. They must have made her mad.
She got up and left. She just got up and left. So, we so appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so now we're going to talk about some good news.
We're going to talk about good news. We're going to talk about, actually, Camp Experience. Betsy and I were both at Camp Experience over the weekend, along with Susan Prue and lots of other folks. About 200 other people, I guess.
Well, it was actually 130.
Was it? Oh, really?
Yeah, and the reason I know that, because I made presents for all of them.
Oh, what's your name?
And I wrote the minutia notes. Oh, at 129, I was really tired.
I was like, oh, God, please.
Well, no more than 130.
And oops, I keep hitting this. There's a wire that's hanging down low, and I keep bumping it. So I apologize for that banging sound.
If we were perfect, it would be impossible. We love imperfection.
That's right.
That's kind of what we're all about.
We're all about imperfect people doing great things.
Right. That would be us.
That'd be us. Well, we're doing medium things, but we're doing fun things.
Well, I think Great Things is a great introduction to Camp Experience.
It is.
So I would like to just give the history a little bit, because all the listeners are like, what are you talking about? So the Camp Experience.
I'm going to stop you before you do that, because you started Camp Experience.
I wasn't going to do that.
I'm going to say she founded it. And this is a wonderful organization that's raising nearly $1 million for charity in the past 13 years right here in Colorado and around the world. And I had the privilege of meeting Betsy on her very first when she's trying to pull this off. So I'd like you to tell about Camp Experience.
Okay. So I usually don't like to do Betsy's show, but let's just say many, many great volunteers came together, and I got everybody in a room and we fed them s'mores. That's the first thing we did. This was when we started Camp Experience. We fed everybody s'mores. And we took out a big sheet of paper and said, let's visualize the perfect weekend.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. So what would you have in a perfect weekend?
Well, you'd have your friends, your girlfriends, and you'd have food.
Mm-hmm. Good, delicious food.
And you'd do things that were fun and share experiences, and just like you would when you were a kid going to camp. You'd have activities and fun, and you might have a speaker, and all these great things that you just don't get away from everything. You can shut the phones off and just relax and laugh and be yourself and not worry if you're wearing makeup or, any of those things. Just go out and be out in our beautiful mountains in Colorado. Because it isn't a weekend. You can't get up there once in a while.
Well, it's funny so that's all the things that we 15 volunteers created on a big piece of paper. We decided all those things. And the other thing we said is we would help other women.
Yes.
Because what really brings the Camp Experience Network together now, 5,000 strong and almost 1 million, as you said, raised, is we come together from all walks of life, all different women, but we all can say yes to education, learning something, inspiration from each other, right? Nobody shoulds on you.
Oh, yeah, I love
Have you ever
that.
been shoulded on?
Oh, yeah, you shoulda.
Yeah, shoulda. We don't should on you. So
don't should on yourself either.
but all kidding aside, lots of us spend a lot of time in the should, right? So education, inspiration, and then the connection you need for what's next. So you meet somebody from the Goodwill, you get involved in a program like Susan and Thriftinista, and she lives her dream of thrifting. The Goodwill has another fundraiser, and everybody wins.
That's right, and the connection's wonderful, and the support you receive from the women is amazing. You get to know them, and even if you don't see them once a year, you know they're there for you. Pick up the phone, call any of them, and say, "Oh my God, I got this thing, and I need help," and they'd be there.
Right.
And they're all. I like the connection with the women.
Yeah.
Such fun.
So in some of what happens is because we do storytelling is kind of our main thing. Everybody tells their story. So this year we heard from the chocolate therapist.
Yeah, but she
Julie
runs a lot.
Nygaard. Julie Nygaard. Okay, so the chocolate therapist is super fit.
Yeah.
And so you can tell the story.
She's so fit, it's unbelievable. But anyway, she, the chocolate therapist is awesome. She did a lot of research on the benefits of chocolate and has written a book on that, as well as pairing chocolate with certain wines and all of these health benefits that you literally, if you eat a certain amount of chocolate every day, it's actually really good for you, which everyone in the room immediately jumped up and started screaming, and she became the favorite person at the conference because of that.
Well, because she also passed out samples.
And then she gave us samples and cooked all kinds of stuff. But the other thing is, and she's the most fit person I've ever seen in my life. And I saw her running, and I said, wait a minute. You're running like all the day on to pour up that chocolate, right? She says, no, I'm not. It gives her the energy to do so. And she is also a nutritionist, a licensed nutritionist. So what she's telling me is true. And then what is the name?
Well, Julie Nygaard is her name, and she has a chocolate therapist store down in downtown Littleton.
Right, that's
because when she got involved, she said, well, wait a minute, I need to learn how to make chocolate. So she makes everything. What I loved about her story is she was a person that learned about chocolate, then decided to have a store and make her own, and then write books about it, and then do chocolate pairing, and figure out the
health benefits. In the meantime, runs about 20 miles a day. But other than that, I love her. She's awesome. She's funny, and she's just a really great person. It was wonderful to hear her, not only about how the benefits of chocolate, but how she got into that and what led her to that decision.
Well, in more storytelling, Jenny Mukio is from Amani Collective, and Amani is in Kenya. So you're thinking, like, how do girls in Colorado have this new friend in Kenya? Well, I'm not going to lie. I wanted to show you how this works. I was volunteering for my daughter's theater group. I stood next to a girl and her husband, and the women worked for Amani Collective. She told me about these women in Kenya that made bags and purses and a baby line and all the things they do. I purchased pillows for Camp Experience Network and purses and all these things. Never met the people and have become friends now with the owner, and the founder, Jenny, came to Camp Experience.
That's right. And the women in Kenya make these, and it's basically it supports them. And so, and you can buy all kinds of things through their website.
Yeah. So I think the inspiration we got from Jenny, who's in her 30s, who with her was her 4-month-old newborn baby, and she has a 2.5-year-old son. And she stood on the stage and said, I'm ready to change the world even more. And, so many people make up the story, but you have 2 kids, and you live in Kenya, there's hardly running water. And she's like, no, I'm embracing the population, and I'm moving to helping all of Africa even source materials.
And the thing is that sometimes we sit around and think, well, what can I do? There's so many homeless. There's so many people with disabilities. There's so many people with, whatever it might be, cancer, whatever. And you don't have to help them all. If you help one, you're helping to change the world. So you can do this one person at a time, one kindness at a time, one donation at a time. It can be small, and it will make a difference. And for many of the women that tell their stories, like our Olympian, our para-Olympian, what an awesome woman. Many people, the changes that happen and the significance that happens, it starts with one person not being afraid to reach out and do something for one other person.
Well, I want you to all check out Brittany Coury, Coury. She's a para-athlete who got a silver medal.
She is the most amazing young woman I have met in decades.
And this is what happens at Camp Experience. The week before camp, I got a call from Sherry, who runs the Olympic training program. she's like, you got to meet Brittany.
We're going to get her in here.
Yeah, Sherry would love to come up. She'll come up from Colorado Springs. And she said, Betsy, I know you're going to love Brittany. And I interviewed Brittany and heard her story. And she actually had to have her leg amputated because of so many injuries on her ankle. And, she thought she made up a story called, I love snowboarding, but my life is over because I don't have a leg anymore, right? And somebody said, just go try it. And she got last.
But she'd only been on a snowboard with her artificial limb 12 times before she actually went out and said, well, I think I'll race and try for the Olympics.
Yeah. So somebody saw her, but this is the part of the story for all of you. A coach saw her and believed they saw potential.
Yes, and she came in dead last. Of the 12 people, she left. And yet they invited her to come back and train with the team.
Come try. And she now got a gold medal, or silver medal. She is training now. She'll bring home the gold. I think that was foreshadowing.
Well, I think so too, because, if you've only done it a few times and you jump on the team, you've never even really professionally embraced in that level, and you go in and you win a silver.
You bring it.
And she's not 20.
No. And she also has a nursing career, which is cool because she was a patient so much, and she wanted to give back and become a nurse. So that was another really, I think, juicy piece to her story, the give back part.
Gives back. She's a nurse. She's, how old is she?
I didn't ask her.
I didn't ask her, but I would guess her late 20s.
Yeah, I'd say late 20s.
And so she's not some 17-year-old that's doing that either. She's somebody who had to put her life on hold to be an Olympian.
Yes, and someone else to look up is New Dimensions Radio, Justine Willis Thomas. And if you look up New Dimensions Radio, you will see a career that has spanned, 40 years. She and her husband Michael, who were like the first people in when all the guru movement was coming to California, and all these people had this wisdom, and they started with cassette tapes.
That's right. And they interview all kinds of folks. She's interviewed the Dalai Lama. She's
Maya Angelou.
They bring in all types of philosophy, and it's just an amazing way to look at life. And her podcast surface to follow them millions.
And she was one of the women who rocked with also a very special one to Beers on to tell them the big surprise.
Oh, a big surprise! We got to bring up one of my dear friends, Denise Plant, and she, of course, she's on the gold. I think 106.7 the gold. And before that was on another station, which shall remain nameless, and she's not there anymore. But it was a top, has been a top media personality in for many years, and has received recognition for that. But the thing that Denise did not ever get recognition for was what she's done for nonprofits in our community. She has donated her time and talents and brought them on her shows and her charge, and just been a big supporter, helping them get gifts and raise money through auction items and all kinds of things. And mostly getting the word out, where most small charities or even mid-sized charities just can't afford to advertise. And she's been so wonderful in promoting this and using her name and her platform. So we decided it was time our community said thank you to a person who's been dedicated to us for 22 years.
Yeah, so Denise Plant, you are a woman who rock, along with Dr. Lynn Hellerstein and Susan Aberbook and Kathy Falk and Justin Rose Thompson. That was a super fun of the weekend. Plus, we donated.
My favorite part.
Well, 350 more pairs of socks to the Sock and Sock campaign. And, we have now 10 Women United at $1,000 each dedicated to the Women United part of United Way, and we raised $25,000.
And Camp Experience sent the women in Camp Experience and all of the people supported sent 2 children to Camp Wapiapi in Denise Plant's name. A child and a sibling. And Camp Wapiapi is where I work, and that's a camp that is dedicated to providing an exceptional camping experience for children who have pediatric cancer and their siblings. So, and it's free to the child and the child's family, but it's not free to put on. So we desperately have to raise money all year long. We run around and say, oh, please, 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 because we want to send 200 kids to camp and give them their childhood back. So
it was not only we knew we were going to send one child, because
but the sisters all jumped up and raised enough money to send 2.
They did. They jumped up, and that's what they did all weekend. So again, thank you to the Camp Experience sisters. For those of you that want to be a part of this, campexperience.com. We have free events all year, so you can look at our schedule, and that's where we put all the Boost Power Radio events. We have some coming up in October that will be super fun.
Right, but also tell us about the Facebook group and the Global Sisterhood, and because it extends beyond. We don't want to talk about camp. Only 130 of the 5,000 people live there. But there is all year long. There's free networking for women. There's all types of things that you can get involved in. Some are free, some cost, and fun. So it's not something that, you can miss camp, you can't ever be a part of this. You certainly can be a part of this, and more people are a part of this that don't go to camp than do, because it's limited the number of folks.
Yeah, the Camp Experience Fall Retreat is just one event in a year, packed full schedule in a year. So on the campexperience.com website, you'll see the schedule. But the big news is launching October 15th is our Global Sisterhood Network, which just simply means that anyone, anywhere in the world can go online for free, absolutely free, and kind of go into the clubhouse by making a login. And inside the clubhouse, you're going to find interviews. There's something called Sister Stories that you can watch. You can hear gathering interviews. You can get discounts and deals inside the clubhouse. So we'll talk more about that at the next show, but October 15th, the free Global Sisterhood membership will launch on campexperience.com.
No, I can't wait.
It's so fun. Well, the reason we're doing that is just so we can gather, because everyone calls me like the operator. Mm-hmm. Who's the one that has the radio show that's really cute? That's Rhonda. Who's the one that has the plumbing company? That's Susan. So instead of calling Betsy, everybody will have to just log in and find all the sisters and find all the deals.
Well, that's good. It's going to free you up a little bit. You can find more sisters to join.
Yeah, we just want everybody in the whole world for free to be part of having fun and doing good.
And doing good. That's the big part too. You really have to have a heart for giving and a heart for those who may not have what we have. And we're grateful for that. I mean, all of this is ours anyway. Because if it was, we could take it with us, and we can't. So,
yeah,
so we may as well share it, right? You may as well share it.
That's the purpose of this radio show, is just to have a place you can plug in that's positive, right? And just, you can learn some great things to do. So let's finish up on our good time segment. We already talked about the Griffinisa bus tour is coming up. Camp Experience, again, look for our coffee and conversations and our free networking event this month. But we have a reunion October 4th from 6 to 8, and it's just for anybody. You didn't have to go to the fall camp. And October 18th, we're going to have a shopping night at Mainstream Boutique. Usually I am sporting a super cute Mainstream outfit. Today I've got pants on, but those are kind of below the camera, from Mainstream. But Mainstream's a great place.
I got to get over there. I love their clothes. I've seen them in camp many times. I need to get down and check out some stuff and wear it and buy it.
And don't forget, November 30th is TEDx Cherry Creek, and that is by our wonderful Daphne, Marcus, and Janae, and co-hosted by Christy Bells. So the tickets are selling super fast, but it's a women's TEDx, so that's speeches and super inspiring people.
It's all women that are speaking.
Yes.
So just so you know, it's a woman. I mean, men can go; they can hear the women speak. Yeah.
Yes, but it's a super great place to plug in to really be inspired by things like that.
Absolutely.
And then we have the art show is coming up.
And Betsy, tell us, I am so proud of you with that.
Okay.
It's like you're just coming into your own. It's like all of a sudden, this must be the year of Betsy.
I think I got a promotion from my boss, myself. That said, oh, by the way, have a radio show in art business, redo camp, Global Sisterhood Network, raise 50,000 in your spare time.
Oh, that's good.
But this is my planner, like you were just thinking, it's time of the year. Mm-hmm. I want to set my dreams. So on the camera, we have the big idea planner. And this was done by a company called Bravante. It really features all of my Sister Angel art and just inspiring messages. Starve your distractions and feed your focus.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
That's a good one for you, Rhonda.
Okay.
I'm going to put this over for you.
Yeah, I should keep that on my refrigerator every day. I'm one of those people that have ADD. It's like, squirrel. You know? Well,
starve your distractions. Feed your focus. It's called the Glen Art Walk. The Glen's Art Walk. And it's in a neighborhood off Colfax. And it's Saturday, October 13th from 10 to 4. It's absolutely free. And you just walk around all these homes and you get to meet all the artists and see their stuff, and it's going to be super fun. It'll be fun. Yeah. We're going to pick some cards, aren't we? We're going to do our theme thing, but we have to do reflections first.
Oh, that's right. Well, and I wanted you to pick the card from the deck. The sister deck.
This is our reflection.
Stop. I want you to pick one of those.
You want me to do
Yes, I want you to do the Go Ask Your Girlfriend.
Okay. I like the reflections.
I know. We're going to do this one, too.
Okay. For fun. If you could plan any type of party, well, what would it be, where, and who would you invite? Well, this is easy because in 2020, my husband Sellers and I, Doug, celebrate 20 years of marriage. Camp Experience will be 15 years old, and our daughter will graduate from high school.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to have one big party.
We are having the party of the universe. Yeah. So we already know that. We don't know our date, but it will be a gratitude party for all the gifts and all the greatness in the world. So 2020. And who will I invite? I will invite you.
Oh, thank you.
You're on the list.
I'll definitely come.
And Megan, because she takes care of the station.
Megan, get over here.
And all the camp sisters and all the
Megan.
guests. Megan's coming into the shot now. Okay. She's coming into the Facebook shot. Pull yourself up, Megan.
There we go. There's
Look
Megan.
At the international camera. This is Megan. She's the brains behind.
She's the brains behind. I'm going to turn up Megan's mic. So.
She's our radio. She's the brains. Rhonda, you have to pull a card too then.
I do. All right, I'll pull a card.
And we're going to have Megan pull a card. Just slide in here.
I keep using this wire hanging low here, and I just keep hitting it. So, what is your
I got party planning. What'd you get?
what's your favorite song to make out to?
Oh, okay.
Oh gosh, Popsicle Toes.
What?
Yep.
Oh,
That's it. Popsicle Toes.
I'm not asking.
Or
you
Dance
that question.
Me to the End of Love.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
those are the
I
two
thought it
ones.
always had to be that Barry White.
Oh.
I'm going way back
I
in
think Dance
history.
Me to the End of Love is probably the good.
Okay, so guess what? Our next victim, our next unwanting.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
make Megan do it.
Unwinning guess? Okay.
Go back to mine. I do it all the time.
What are 3 qualities you look for in a
Oh,
friend?
we can't do that.
We
We don't
know.
have that one. How did we
You
get
don't
that
get a
one?
friend. Sorry. Call a friend, pick a friend, forget it.
If you could see, just to catch up, someone you used to date, who would that be?
Oh, Jill.
Ooh. I don't know if I want to see any of them. There's a reason we're not together.
You have to answer. But you don't have to say their name. You can have a fake name, so if they're, in case they're listening, they don't think you're thinking about them. And you know.
My friend Ben from college. We were good friends. And
We're going to let
There you
Ben
go.
off the hook
We're
there.
gonna let Ben off the hook. All right.
That
Are you
is
sure?
good.
Yeah.
No, they're good stories, huh?
So now can we do reflections, and then we can pick the
Yes.
card, okay? And then we have to talk about our next show. So that's our next. Okay, so I got that at the Goodwill. Reflection by Betsy and Rhonda.
Oh, I got 2 again.
Okay, well first we're gonna do reflections. My reflection is people like Susan Frew and people from the Goodwill, like people that are doing good. They just have a glow about them. They just have a whole a style point of giving back. And I really think my reflection is if we all can just do one thing, it's just be kind to your family or say something nice to the bus driver or someone at the checkout line. I just think it gives back. When you give, you get gifts.
Yeah.
I've been known to say that recently. What gifts will you get?
I think that what from Susan, I think what we learned, and I was just amazed at that, how she's just picked herself up over and over again and recreated herself when necessary, but embraced the person she was, because it helped her become the person she is, and the success that she's had both in the community, being a great giver, and in her business. And so to me, every time I'm around Susan Fruit, I just smile. She's just an incredible person. And it was really cool to get to know her better. And of course, Goodwill. I want to say that the thing about Goodwill was the bikes. That was the coolest thing ever, that you can do the bike check by them, and some of the work that they do with teens in the community, and things that I just wasn't aware that Goodwill did. So those were my 2 biggest moments.
Yeah, they have a huge outreach to the
huge,
refugee
huge.
population in Denver, and they teach them English language skills. And they really, when we were on the trip to East bus tour, someone got on the bus and told their story, and it was just wonderful. About starting as a clerk, and now they're a manager. And
I met that lady.
Yeah,
I mean, she
super
started
cool.
out there just learning how to be a worker, and ended up being one of the managers at Goodwill.
Good. So let's see. So our next show, and then we'll draw our card, is the power of yes.
Yes.
It's yes. What can
Say
you say
yes.
Yes to now, right?
Wasn't that the movie where the guy had to say yes all the time? I think that was something that she told him.
I don't know. I missed that movie, but it's going to be fun. In our good work segment, we have St. Anthony North Health Campus bringing another doctor back. And you get to say doctor's name.
I can't say that name. Dr. Oyag.
Oyag, Megan? Is that how we say it?
Oyag.
Okay.
Okay.
And this doctor is going to talk about breast cancer because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, and that's something that has been too close to home.
It's too
At
close
this
to home.
podium right here with Rhonda being 5 years clean. So we're so happy to inform and inspire you about breast cancer.